All right, in section 6.5 here, we're going to finish off with our linear graphing with some inequalities, how to graph inequalities. So as a review, greater than symbol is the alligator or Pac-Man mouth opening up from left to right. Less than, from left to right, you got the little tail that you see first. But then we have greater than or equal to, you see greater than, mouth opening up first from left to right. And then the equal to symbol is the line underneath. Less than, equal to. So these are some review of the inequalities that we've seen before. The solution to linear inequalities is on a plane. And if you look here, it's the shaded part of the plane. So we're not just looking at a point or a line anymore, but we're looking at the shaded region. So the solution to a linear inequality is a shaded plane area. Right, so we're going to shade above or below. The boundary line divides the coordinate plane into two sections, above and below, and we're going to look at when you shade above. So above, when you shade above, is greater than. Below, that's going to be our less than. Alright, the boundary line is included in the solution when the inequality is greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So when you see the line on the bottom, the equal to on the bottom of our inequality, it's going to be a solid line that we're going to graph. Right? So for instance, if you look right here, here's my equal to example. I have a solid line. Right? When the boundary line is included, the solution of the boundary line will be solid. Okay, the boundary line is not included in the solution when we have just a plane greater than or less than. There's no equal to. There's no line on the bottom. So then we're going to have a dotted line like these right here. See, there's no line, so our answers are going to be dotted. So you can see the dotted examples. So I'm just going to write that right there. Dotted, dotted, and then solid. We have a solid line up there. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through some different examples of graphing the line. Right. So this one would start at 2, as you can see, goes up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, and then we're going to dot the line. If it's just a greater than or less than, it'll be dotted. And then we're going to shade the plane. So we're going to look at it. If it is greater than, we're going to shade above. If it's less than, we're going to shade below. All right? And right here, again, you can see it's a dotted line because I have a line underneath the inequality here, the equal to. So it includes the line. And because it's greater than, we're shading above. Right, so remember you can pause at any time, rewind, raise your hand and ask questions at any time. So right here we're on the back, right? So we're going to go through some examples together. But what I want you to do is just slide to the bottom first. Let's talk about when do we know that the line we're making is going to be solid or dashed or dotted. So in this case right here, it's just less than symbol. There's no equal to. So it's going to be dashed or dotted. Dashed, dotted, whatever you want to say. All right, if you look right here, there's the equal to. When it's less than or equal to, it's going to be a solid line that we're going to make. Okay, right here, that inequality is going to tell you if it's dashed or solid. So I have a greater than or equal to. That little line that's right here underneath means I'm going to make a solid line. When there's just greater than, but there's nothing underneath, it's going to be a dashed line I'm going to make. All right, so let me go through a couple examples with you above here. So So when you're ready, and remember you can pause it. So if you need to pause it there to keep writing, do that. So let's go, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Let's look at number 1. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to graph my point. We just did this in 6.1. So I'm going to start off with my B. So I'm graphing at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then my slope here, since there's nothing in front of the x, is 1. So I like to put a 1 under 1. It's still 1, right? 1 divided by 1 is still 1. To help me with my rise over run. So from the 5, up 1, over 1. This should be review, but if not, and you're confused still, I can come over and explain it to you again. Just go ahead and ask. But if you look there, I got a nice line, right? We're going to use our ruler. We're going to make our line. And now, because the thing I did wrong, if you look, is this is not supposed to be a solid line because there's no equal to. So what I have to do is dash it. Dash my line. Alright? Because this line is not going to be a part of my solution. Greater than, whenever you see greater than, you're going to shade above. Less than, we're going to shade below. Alright? So greater than, above, less than, below. So in this case, I have a greater than, I'm going to shade above. Alright? Number 2, again, we're going to start off with my y-intercept, which is 1. So I'm going to make my point at 1. Alright? My slope here is 2. So I'm going to go up 2 over 1. So up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Alright, so there's my line. I'm going to draw my line. What? Just check it. See, don't go too fast. I was going too fast. But right here, it's less than or equal to. So because it's equal to, I can make my line solid. My line's going to be solid. Right here, less than, I'm going to shade below the line. I'm going to shade below, underneath the line. Alright, let's do another one together. I'm going to plot my y-intercept first, right? -2, that's down here. -2, I'm going to plot my y-intercept first. My slope again is just 1. There's nothing in front of the x, so it's just a 1 over 1. So I'm going to go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. I'm going to plot my line. You should look first, but my line is solid because it's greater than or equal to, right? So I have a solid line, and greater than means above. So I'm going to shade above. Less than, I'm going to shade below. So in number 2, I had a less than symbol, that's why I had to shade below the line. Number 3, I have a greater than symbol, I'm going to shade above my solid line. Alright? Let me do one more example, and I'm going to do number 5. And I'm going to let you try 4 and 6, okay? But number 5, I'm going to plot my 5 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my slope is -3. So I'm going to just put a 1 under it to help me with my rise over run. So -3, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1. Make your line, but look, this time I'm being more careful. It's a less than. There's no equal sign, so I have to make a dashed line. Not a straight line, but just dashed. Alright, so if you look here, it's dashed. It's not a solid line. All right, because you only have a less than. It's no equal to there. So the less than shade below the line. All right, so try 4 and 6 out. If you get stuck, let me know. All right, part 2 will be how to do 2 inequalities on one graph. All right, so good luck. Let me know how you do with 4 and 6, and then watch part 2.